Hi, I'm Vishal and I would like to welcome you all in my class. This tutorial is of class 6 for chapter 1 and the topic of the chapter is computer story. Today we are going to cover three main topics. They are understanding generations, generation of computers and component used, and classifications of computer. So without delay, let's come to our first point, understanding generation. So now what is generation? In every household, there are different generation of people. Your grandfather belongs to the different generation. Your father to a different and you belong to the latest generation. As the generations progressed, the devices that were used by people also become increasingly advanced. Let's take an example of communication. At the time of your grandfather, how the communication was held. It was held by the means of post or letters. And at the time of your father, there was the means of communication like telephones. You can communicate to any other person by dialing the number and contacting to him or her. Now, the latest generation, or I can say your generation, in which you're using the new technologies like laptops, smartphones for the means of communication, and now also as you are learning the things or your classes using your laptops or smartphones. So now I hope that this topic is clear to you. Now let's move to the next topic, that is generation of computer and component used. Now how the generations of the computer is divided. So let me clear you. Computer generations are divided in 5 generations in the same way as we have, as I told you about the generation of your household or your house generation. In the same way, there have been different generation of computers. The computer which you see today is not the same as it was some year back. It has passed through many generations to reach its current form. Let us learn about different generation which led to the invention of the modern computer. So the first one is first generation, which falls under 1940 to 1956. In this generation, vacuum tubes were used. The component which was used in this generation was vacuum tube, which was made up of glass to store the data. In this generation, in the first generation computer, it was very large in size and was not portable, and it has a major drawback that this was very slow in the performance and generate a lot of heat. Some of the examples of first generation computers are UNIVAC, ENIAC, IBM 701 and IBM 650. Second generation computer. This generation falls under 1956 to 1963. This generation computer used transistors and were smaller in size and faster in speed in the comparison of first generation computers. These computers used magnetic tapes and punch card to store data. Some of the examples are IBM 7090, IBM 7094 and UNIVAC 1108. Third generation computers. This generation comes under 1964 to 1971. In this generation, in the place of transistor, integrated circuit has taken place. And because of this integrated circuit, the computer become more smaller and faster and could do more complex work. One of the example of third generation computer is IBM 370. Fourth generation computer. This generation comes under 1971 to present. In this generation, microprocessors were used which are lightweight and faster. Currently, the computers which we are using are of fourth generation computers. For example, the PC like IBM system and HP 3000. Fifth generation computer, present and beyond. These are still in development stage. Now, which technology is used in fifth generation? This is artificial intelligence and we call it AI. These what kind of these computer will be able to take decision based on stored data. For example, Sophia, a robot which was created in Japan, is also an example of artificial intelligence. It can take decisions according to the stored data and it can give the output also. Now let's move to the next topic, classifications of computer. Computer can be classified on the basis of their size and speed. First, microcomputers. The computer which you use now, like your desktop, laptop, tablet PCs, smartphones, these all types of computers are called microcomputer. Microcomputer are a small computer whose CPU is a microprocessor contained on a single integrated circuit chip. These computers are portable, means you can keep your computer anywhere and you can move. Now, one more question come here. What is a workstation? So this is a little bit similar as a personal computer, that's what I'm telling you. So a workstation is like a personal computer, but it has a more powerful microprocessor and in general a higher quality monitor. Let's move to the next one, that is mini computer. Mini computer came into existence in 1960s. Those days mainframe computer were very expensive, so users switched over to mini computers, which was powerful and available at a reasonable price. But mini computer has become less important since the PC has become so powerful on its own. The present day PC is much more powerful and compact than the mini computer. These computers are normally referred to as mid-range servers now. Now these mini computers are not used in so many places, but in the organizations and many companies used this type of computer to store their data in a large amount. Now let's move to the next one, that is mainframe computers. Now listen it carefully. These are huge computers that can occupy an entire room or even a whole floor. A mainframe can accommodate many users at a time. It means multiple users can work on the same computer and on the same time. Now, how is it possible to work in the single computer with the multiple users? So, to make this connection possible, terminals are used. I can say terminals are used to connect a user to this computer. Now, what is terminal? Terminal is a device which has a keyboard and a screen integrated together. By using a terminal, each user can give input into the computer and get the output on his her monitor. Now these mainframe are also normally referred as enterprise servers. Now the next topic is supercomputer. Now as the word came here, supercomputer, it work like that also. A supercomputer uses multiple CPUs, that is central processing units, to work on a problem using the concept of parallel processing. Now what is this parallel processing? Parallel processing is the simultaneous use of more than one CPU to execute a program. I'm repeating again. Parallel processing is the simultaneous use of more than one CPU to execute a program. Now, why these supercomputers are used? So these computers are used for highly calculation intensive tasks such as weather forecasting, climatic research like global warming. Now, what is weather forecasting? Weather forecasting means to get the knowledge about what is going to be happen, an approximate knowledge about what is going to be happen on upcoming days. And physical simulation, now such as simulation of the flying of airplanes, nuclear energy research, and petroleum exploration. So these are the work of supercomputers. Now do you know which is the first supercomputer of India, of our country? So Param Yuva 2 is the first supercomputer of India, which was made by the CDAC, that is Center for Development of Advanced Computing. It was launched on July 1, 1991. It is also considered as India's fastest supercomputer. It was indigenously built in 1991 by CDAC and was replicated and installed at ICAD Moscow in 1991 under Russian collaboration. I hope you all have enjoyed this session and you understood the topics. Thank you.